sensation over there. It's for not immediately emptying her bench at that last time out. And
did you catch the WNBA game that left Storm coach Noelle Quinn fuming? Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever didn't just win. They shattered expectations and exposed a surprising lack of sportsmanship from seasoned pros. Let's break down how this rookie is shaking up the league and why some veterans can't handle it. Caitlin Clark put on a show against the Seattle Storm, leading the Fever to a stunning victory. She dropped an impressive 29 points and dished out 9 assists, leaving the Storm players and coaches in disbelief. As the game went on, you could feel the tension rising on the court. Clark's dominance was clear, and it seemed to rattle the opposing team. But the real drama was yet to come. Coach Quinn's reaction to Clark's performance was explosive, to say the least.
Sensation over there. It's for not immediately emptying her bench at that last time out. And
without giving too much away, let's just say things got heated after the final buzzer. This game wasn't just a win for the Fever. It was a turning point that's got everyone talking about the future of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's journey in the WNBA has been nothing short of remarkable. From a rookie who some thought might struggle to adapt to the pro game, she's quickly become a fan favorite and record breaker. Clark's rise to stardom isn't just about her impressive stats, it's about how she's changing the face of women's basketball. Let's talk about those achievements. Clark recently shattered the WNBA rookie assist record, showing she's not just a scorer, but a playmaker too. And if that wasn't enough, she set a new Indiana Fever record for most three-pointers in a single game. These aren't just numbers. They're proof that Clark is redefining what's possible for a first-year player in this league. But it's not just about the records. Clark's success is challenging the status quo in the WNBA.
I respect Christy. Been in this league for a long time, played for her in Russia. We're just having a spirited conversation about gamesmanship. That's it.
She's bringing a new energy to the court that fans can't get enough of. During games, you can feel the excitement in the arena whenever Clark has the ball. People are on the edge of their seats, wondering what she'll do next. It's this kind of electricity that's drawing new fans to the sport and reigniting the passion of longtime supporters. However, not everyone's thrilled about Clark's rapid rise. Some veteran players and coaches seem a bit rattled by her success. It's like they're not quite sure how to handle this new force in the league. You can see the tension on the court sometimes. The way opposing teams try extra hard to shut her down, or the frustrated looks when she makes yet another impossible shot. This tension isn't just about basketball skills. It's about a changing of the guard in the WNBA. Clark represents a new generation of players who are coming in with big expectations and the talent to back it up. For some veterans who've been the face of the league for years, this can be a tough pill to swallow. But here's the thing, Clark's impact goes beyond just her individual performances. She's become a game changer for the Indiana Fever as a whole. Before Clark arrived, the Fever were struggling. Now, they've got serious playoff momentum. It's not just about wins and losses. It's about how one player can transform an entire team's energy and belief in themselves. As one commentator put it, Caitlin Clark has broken this league, and it's fantastic to watch. This quote sums up the excitement and controversy surrounding Clark. She's not just playing the game, she's changing it. And while some might resist that change, there's no denying the positive impact it's having on the sport as a whole. Clark's rise is also shining a spotlight on the WNBA in a way we haven't seen before. More people are tuning in to watch games, talking about women's basketball on social media, and debating the future of the sport. It's creating a buzz that's great for the league's growth and visibility. But with all this attention comes pressure. Clark's every move is scrutinized, her every performance analyzed. How she handles this pressure could define not just her career, but potentially the trajectory of the league itself. So far, she seems to be thriving under the spotlight, but the real test will come as the season progresses and the games get even more intense. The tension on the court reached a boiling point when a Seattle Storm player shoved Caitlin Clark during the game. This moment of aggression wasn't just a lapse in sportsmanship, it was a clear sign that Clark's dominance was getting under the skin of her opponents. The lack of professionalism from the Storm side was shocking, especially coming from a team known for its veteran leadership. But the real fireworks came from the sidelines. Coach Noelle Quinn of the Seattle Storm couldn't hide her frustration as Clark and the Fever continued to dominate. As the game slipped away from the Storm, Quinn's composure started to crack. She began criticizing the Indiana coach for not pulling starters earlier.
And Noelle Quinn was losing her mind because she felt like Christie's side should have pulled the starters, I guess, earlier. This makes the Seattle Storm coach look absolutely petty.
A move that raised eyebrows among fans and commentators alike. Quinn's visible agitation on the sidelines was just the beginning. In the post-game press conference, she took things to another level. In a moment that's now making waves across the league, Quinn described herself as a gangster from LA. Her exact words were, "I'm from LA, I'm a gangster." This statement, meant to convey toughness and competitiveness, instead sparked a firestorm of controversy. The reaction to Quinn's gangster comment was swift and mixed. Some saw it as a misguided attempt to sound tough in the face of defeat. Others criticized it as unprofessional and potentially harmful to the league's image. Either way, it was clear that Quinn's emotions had gotten the better of her. But what's really behind Quinn's meltdown? It's not just about one game or one player. Clark's meteoric rise represents a challenge to the established order in the WNBA. Veterans like Quinn have been the face of the league for years, and suddenly there's a rookie stealing the spotlight and changing the game.
Takes a pretty good little shove right there. Boom. There's no actual law that states that has to happen.
There's an undercurrent of jealousy here that can't be ignored. Clark's success isn't just impressive, it's threatening to those who've long held power in the league. Her ability to draw new fans, break records, and dominate games is shaking up the status quo. For coaches and players who've been in the league for years, this rapid change can be hard to swallow. Quinn's reaction also highlights a generational divide in the WNBA. The league is evolving, with young stars like Clark bringing new energy and playing styles. But some veterans seem resistant to this change, clinging to old ways of thinking about the game and how it should be played. The gangster comment, in particular, reveals a lot about the mindset of some league veterans. It's an outdated way of trying to assert toughness and authority. In today's WNBA, with its focus on skill, athleticism, and positive role models, this kind of posturing feels out of place. Quinn's behavior and the Storm's conduct during the game point to deeper issues within the league regarding sportsmanship and professionalism. As one commentator put it, the lack of sportsmanship from this coach. Some of these coaches and players, they're not ready for prime time. This statement encapsulates the frustration many feel about the reaction to Clark's success. It's not just about one coach losing her cool. It's about a league grappling with change and the growing pains that come with it. The WNBA is at a crossroads, with young stars like Clark pushing the boundaries of what's possible on the court. How the league's veterans and leadership respond to this change will shape its future. The incident with Quinn and the Storm is a wake-up call for the WNBA. It's time for a serious conversation about professionalism, sportsmanship, and how to handle the influx of new talent. The league needs to find a way to celebrate its rising stars without alienating its veterans. As we move forward, all eyes will be on how the WNBA addresses these issues. Will there be consequences for unprofessional behavior? How will the league support its young stars while also respecting its established players? These are questions that need answers as the WNBA enters a new era. Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA goes far beyond just breaking records. She's reshaping how people see women's basketball, bringing in new fans, and shaking up the power dynamics in the league. It's not just about her impressive stats, it's about the excitement she brings to every game. When Clark steps on the court, you can feel the energy shift. Fans who never paid much attention to the WNBA before are suddenly tuning in to watch her play. Social media lights up with highlights of her impossible shots and no-look passes. She's not just a great player, she's becoming a cultural phenomenon. But Clark's rise isn't just changing things for the fans, it's causing some serious waves within the league itself. Veterans who've been the face of the WNBA for years are suddenly finding themselves sharing the spotlight with this rookie sensation. Some are embracing the change, recognizing that Clark's success is good for the league as a whole. Others, like Coach Quinn, seem to be struggling with this new reality. There's an elephant in the room that we need to address: the racial dynamics at play in this situation. Clark is a white player succeeding in a league that's predominantly diverse. This has led to some tension and uncomfortable conversations. Some critics argue that Clark is getting more attention than equally talented players of color. Others point out that her success could bring more diversity to the fan base, ultimately benefiting all players. It's a complex issue without easy answers. What's clear is that Clark's presence is forcing the league to confront some long-standing issues around race, representation, and opportunity in women's sports. These are conversations that need to happen, even if they're not always comfortable. The reaction to Clark's performance also highlights how women's sports are evolving. Gone are the days when female athletes were expected to be polite and non-threatening. Clark plays with a fierce competitiveness that some find inspiring and others find challenging. She's not afraid to celebrate her successes or show her emotions on the court. This new attitude is attracting younger fans who appreciate authenticity and passion, but it's also ruffling some feathers among those who prefer a more traditional approach to the game. The clash between these two perspectives is playing out in real time, with Clark at the center of it all. What's particularly interesting is how some corners of the league are resisting this change. We saw it in Coach Quinn's reaction, that old school tough guy mentality trying to assert itself in the face of a new kind of player. But that approach feels increasingly out of touch in today's WNBA. The league is at a crossroads. It can embrace the energy and excitement that players like Clark bring, using it to grow the fan base and push the sport forward. Or it can cling to old ways of doing things, potentially missing out on a golden opportunity for growth and relevance. This isn't just about one player or one season, it's about the future of women's basketball. Clark's success is opening doors for other young players who might have been overlooked in the past. She's showing that there's more than one way to play the game at the highest level. The incident with Coach Quinn and the Storm isn't just a blip on the radar. It represents a turning point for the WNBA. We're seeing the start of a new era, one where competitiveness is celebrated, where players aren't afraid to be themselves on and off the court, and where the old guard is being challenged to adapt or step aside.